Your wallet. Oh, yes, and your faith in alignment with that wallet of yours. And we're very pleased, as we are on every Friday, to have Drew Blazsik in the house. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Ron and Dave. How's it going?
Real quick, doing great. And before we get started, topsy-turvy Dow Jones this week. Any explanation of what the heck was going on there? Topsy-turvy isn't right. It just went down and then went down again. I mean, it's on a bit of a slide.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for what's going on, and it could be from the debt issue in our country to a lot of reasons. But I would caution people not to freak out too much and just pull all their money out. Mm-hmm. And I would, if they have a lot of investments, look into maybe buy some puts or buy some different ways to insure your money rather than pull it out. Because the fear is if it's going down, you pull your money out, and then you see the stock market goes all of a sudden up to 50,000. You're gonna lose out a lot. Mm-hmm. And historically, that is not a good technique. Historically, just to pull your money out and the kind of thing. On the other hand, you have like Warren Buffett, just I think halved Apple, I think it was, and you have a lot of the some of the wealthier people are pulling some money out. So, I'm not giving advice here, but.
I just saw yesterday where Warren Buffett owns more U.S. Treasury bonds than the U.S. government.
Oh, wow.
It's true. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
So, hey, it's funny. Let's get an introduction talking about our economy and debt. I was reading this book called Barren Metals, The History of Capitalism as the Conflict Between Labor and Usury. As we talked about the other encyclicals of the Catholic Church, it talked about it's so important to give a living wage of how a father could provide for a family. And if you don't give that, then you start seeing both parents working, and then the kids are left home. That's what the last encyclical was talking about. So in Florence, this is awesome. In Florence, I guess not awesome, but I think it's a good reminder to what we're going through. It was the economic powerhouse in the world during the 1400s. And I just want to read this part. And when I read it from this book, let me know if this sounds like America. So it goes, let's begin with the first modern economy. The Florentine oligarchs became rich by privileging usury over labor, which is debt. The promotion of debt rather than work. The oligarchs instituted a policy of low wages in the cloth industry, banning labor unions and issuing a debased local currency, like how we print money. This allowed the oligarchs to appropriate the surplus value which their organization of the textile industry created. Instead of responding to the rebellion of 1378 by raising wages, the oligarchs demonized the workers. They refused to pay a living wage. The net result was a decline, and this is important here. The net result was a decline in population, which meant a decline in the workforce, which meant a decline in the Florence ability to create wealth, because labor creates all wealth, not debt. That meant that the oligarchs had to look elsewhere to invest the money and had been taken from the worker, low wages, which meant they moved from manufacturing and commerce into banking and usury, which meant lending to princes. And then when these money lenders start lending to princes, why would you lend to governments? Typically, it wasn't for Social Security. It's because of war. So the more these people lent, the more war you had. So the point is, when you have an economy that doesn't pay a wage, where a father can take care of a family, the population, it says, declines. And this is what the book shows over and over. Populations decline, the workforce decline, and then the city goes elsewhere for manufacturing. And then it gets worse and worse. And then what they did, since they had low wages, they brought in the money lenders that charged the people 43rd and 1/3% per year.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
That killed their economy on debt. And from that, if you look at what I found kind of interesting, debt is rising. Abortion numbers have risen slightly as well. Populations on the decline, just like what happened in Florence. And we have some interesting stats here. If you look at debt, overall debt for people, of course, the most per year is the age groups of 40 to 49 and 50 to 59 has the most debt. But if you look at percentage of income, now they make the most. Those earning less than 20% paid 26% of their income towards debt.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
those who paid 20 to 39% of all incomes of the wealth are paying 11, and then as you make more and more money, the percent of debt to your income goes down and down and down and down. So it shows the middle earners and the low wages are just so getting killed on debt. One of the things I wanted to kind of promote here is it's kind of a strategy that I started, and I took student loan debt out. I have debt. Here's kind of a strategy I came up with. I drove a 2007 Civic for the longest time. So many who know me, I was driving that until it died. Mm-hmm. And a great strategy is if you're driving an old car with no payments, instead of waiting until it dies and then you have to go in debt to buy a new car, because we have to have a car, is why not pay yourself every year or every month like $300 to $400? So then you can save that money, the $300 to $400, and then by the time your car breaks down, you might have enough for half the payment or maybe the whole payment. I mean, it adds up quick.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So I think it's a great strategy not to get in debt. Of course, you have to have a car, but don't wait for that moment for you to buy a car when it's too late and you have to go in debt. Try to save now. I think it's a great strategy.
Make the car payment to yourself. I love it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.